Nerdist to expand beyond me, and I always wanted to bring in different voices and have people cover different verticals, and it's like we have this performance theater at Meltdown Comics, and every time I go in, there's some new thing that they've added where I'm like, wow, these people are doing it. Like it's so outside anything that I have anything to do with sometimes. I filled in for Jessica on Nerdist News once, and the first couple comments were like, who the F is this guy? Which I thought was awesome. Where's Jess?
I paid Blair to put that in there.
You did? Well, it was just nice because it just means it's kind of taken on a life of its own. It's like, it's this, you know, I don't have kids. Nerdist is essentially my drooling baby. And so it's nice that it's sort of, now it's kind of a toddler. And you guys are doing a great job blowing it up. I don't mean, that sounded like I meant that it's okay to blow it up. It's not okay to explode children. It's not okay.
I feel like Blair only hosted because he came to drop off Emerson for babysitting.
Oh, should I just jump in front of the camera? Dan Casey has been doing a phenomenal job. He has been covering junkets and writing columns for us for, have you guys been here like 2 years now?
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
It's amazing. So, what can you tell people about what you're working on and your vision for the future? And I don't know, just say something that sounds really meaniful.
All right, guys. So all you need to know to be happy in life is to go to Nerdist.com on a daily basis. No, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up where I've had a great time filling in for Jess when she's not there. Reading your comments about why I'm not Jessica. They're all appreciated. No, but we're expanding our programming where Malik and I are working on our Twitch channel, which we're hoping to kick off in a big way when Daylight comes out later this month.
Yeah, that's Chobot's game,
yes, Daylight.
And you guys are gonna...
April 29th, you should mark it on your calendars. It's gonna be spooky.
Yeah, so we're gonna start doing more stuff on Twitch, but we brought on Malik Forte, who had a fantastic YouTube channel of his own, and he started contributing on the website.
Thank you, Chris.
Of course. I was watching you. But one of the things that's sort of...
So they say.
One of the things that's sort of fun about this kind of expanding bubble of stuff that we make is that it all interconnects. So my dream was always, maybe we find, like if someone performs at the Nerdist Theater, maybe they start contributing, or maybe we give them a web show, or maybe, like in Malik's case, he started contributing on the .com, and we were like, hey, you should jump in front of the camera for us. And he said, sure. So it really is just about connecting all these pieces. So, anyone can kind of work in any little sector that we're creating, but I always felt like, because I don't have as much, I do play games. I just finished Stick of Truth, which was unbelievable. And I did bring this, if you guys are street passing. I'm gonna have to go through. Why only 10? Why can I only get 10? It's bullshit, Nintendo. So, but I always felt that there was this kind of gaping chasm where I wasn't able to cover games in any kind of effective way. And so, Malik, that is your dedicated job now.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving it a lot. Who wouldn't love writing about games and talking about games all day, though?
So jerks, communists.
True that.
So what was that, sir? Hydra. Hail Hydra. Hail Hydra. No one else can hear me if I'm holding my hand over my face, right? One of my favorite memes right now. So what is your vision for expanding Nerdist gaming, and what do you see, and also what are you excited about?
Well, I'm excited about the next gen. I don't know about you guys, but Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC Master Race, all of those. I'm loving it all. But one thing that really drew me to Nerdist in general was the fact that everything's always positive. Chris, you've always just been a positive person about anything that you've talked about. You've come from a positive angle, and that's kind of how I look at things. I go on a lot of gaming websites, and they're very, very sharp, and there's a lot of negativity out there. So what I'm hoping for is to bring kind of a more, positive and a snarky but comedic tone to covering games.
Well, I always, because people. It's funny that people could come down on you for being like super upbeat and positive all the time. Yeah. But I think a lot of times, and this mainly hovers around Reddit sometimes, but this idea that you're positive about everything, so somehow that makes me not honest or not authentic or whatever. And I always say, look, positive, negative, I could tell you 10 positive things about this or 10 negative things about it. I just choose to focus on positive stuff because there's enough negativity in the world. So it just feels like, shut up, just shut up. You just shut up right now. You just stop it! Oh, she's having to sign all that. Please help me. These people are holding me hostage. This is not part of the panel. You're the only ones who can understand me. I beg of you. Thank you. I'm happy to announce that, Nerdist, as I talked earlier about how I was initially, I was on TypePad years ago, and I still, every month I get the, hey, you haven't paid your TypePad bill this month. But then we moved to WordPress, and then ultimately the WordPress platform through WordPress.org, and it was great for a while, but then we realized this year, there was not really a mobile experience for us. We just sort of had a little plug-in that, that you could view it mobile, but it didn't really work that great. So we've done a complete teardown of the Nerdist.com website. We're relaunching it on May 7th, the Wednesday, May 7th. So it'll be a complete mobile experience. We kind of designed mobile first, and then ported that over to the desktop. And so we're gonna be more video, just more extensive. The site will be prettier. It won't look so much like a blog anymore. It'll kind of look like an online magazine, if you will.
It's very pretty.
It's real pretty to look at, you guys. It's real nice.
When I'm stressed, I just like to look at it.
I just look at it. It's like it's so zen. It's like a zen garden. I just like to pet
I'm
it.
right here. This is happening right across
I just like to pet it. I just like to pet the site.
No, it's going to be much more organized, and you're going to be able to find coverage of. We're going to have Game of Thrones landing pages, and like the stuff that you like, it's going to be much easier to find it. It's like Chris has been really hands-on with developing it. It really looks good, and I am super psyched to get into it and publish to it.
Yeah, I mean, again, just continuing to try to fill this hole where I feel like G4 left. I just don't see anyone that's doing exactly what we do and exactly the way we do it. And so we're just trying to, I want to do more live events. I want to, be at CES. We're going to be doing some stuff at E3. We're obviously doing stuff at San Diego, which I can say we're definitely doing a Nerdist podcast at San Diego Comic-Con again this year. I'm working on some other stuff with that. It'd be fun if we could do an At Midnight there, but I don't know. We're trying to work it out, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure. Oh, we'll see. Boy, my girlfriend hates it. Chloe is here, and I sent points to her recently. Like, she said something, we're eating dinner. I said something, I don't remember what it was, but it was something very suggestive in an adult kind of way. And then she was like, well, if you never want to touch me again, you should keep talking like that. And I go, points! And she just like cringed. Like, just goes, don't bring that work shit home. Like that. So it was hard not to go, points! Yeah. Well, let's say it at home. I would also like to introduce Ben Acker and Ben Blacker of the phenomenal Adventure Hour, which we put out as a podcast. But they've been doing the show for years, and I've been fortunate enough to do it a bunch. But if you haven't heard Thrilling Adventure Hour, it is one of the most brilliantly written and wonderfully performed. It's essentially well, do you want to describe it like a sci-fi serialized radio play? Is that about right?
Yeah, it's an old-time radio show on a new-time podcast, is what we say. It's a stage show, and we fake old-timiness and radio-ness, so it's actors that you know and love holding scripts in their hand, doing genre stuff and sound effects, the smallest orchestra you've ever seen. And
it's the only place you can get Nathan Fillion still doing a space western.
Yes! Yeah, Fillion's done a few, and Karen Gillan's done one, and Weird Al, and...
It's been a lot of fun. We get to indulge all of our nerd fantasies, like, who can we put in it this week?
I know. So if you ever get a chance, Thrilling Adventures, they do it at Largo in Los Angeles.
We're also touring quite a bit these days. We're going to be in Chicago on this coming Saturday. We're going to be in New York on May 10th at Town Hall with a crazy cast that includes Dick Cavett.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. Ira Glass. Yeah, it's crazy. Jonathan Colton. It's super fun. And then we're doing a bunch more shows over the course of the year outside of LA.
Excellent. And then Ben Blacker also does... I mean... What are the odds that Ben Acker and Ben Blacker could find each other? Not only find each other, but then realize, oh, we're the perfect writing team because our names are one letter off. Like, how is that?